We'll call to order the Douglasville City Council regular voting meeting for tonight, which is Monday, November the 20th, 2023. Our invocation will be done. I'm sorry, my computer is not coming up like it's supposed to. It's my turn. Thank you so much. Our invocation will be done by Pastor Darius Elder, Director of Pastoral Counseling and Coaching from the Chapel Hill Church of Douglasville. And after that, we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by the Mayor Pro Tem. Please stand for the invocation.
God of justice and mercy, we thank you today for your many abundant blessings. Thank you for the gift of life, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings tonight, for sustenance, and for wonderful relationships. Thank you for the ability to be involved in a useful work such as this, for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities, and the opportunity to serve the people of our city. We ask that you grant our mayor, the various levels of city officials, and this assembled council the wisdom to govern amid the challenges and issues of these times. Grant them a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people. Grant them, O Lord, a thirst for justice and righteousness, and in the confidence of what is good and fitting. Endow them with the ability to work together in harmony, even when there is honest disagreement. Award each of them tonight personal peace in their lives and joy in their task. We pray for the agenda set before them tonight. Give them an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our great city of Douglasville. It is in your blessed name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, for leading us in the pledge. And Pastor Elder, we appreciate the prayer. I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville City Council regular voting meeting. This is a City Council regular meeting of agenda items that were official action will be taken tonight on the items that were discussed last Thursday at our legislative work session. If the business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the agenda item comments from citizens and delegates for you to discuss your business. I'll go over a few protocol issues and then we will get into the meat of the meeting. I ask that you please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. If you deviate from that warning, a second deviation will result in us turning the microphone off and you discontinue your conversation for this evening. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to speakers or speak from the audience. Cheer or carry on a conversation when you are at the microphone. We're only required to accept public comments during required public hearings. And if you have a cell phone or electronic device, we ask that you would please turn those off or put those in silent mode until after the meeting so they will not be disruptive. These are how the agenda items will be handled this evening. The committee chairperson will read the agenda item. Then that person or applicant representing that agenda item will make his or her presentation. Myself and council members will possibly ask clarifying questions to help us make our decision as we vote on the items this evening. After that, the committee chairperson will ask for comments from the audience or statements. There is a maximum of 20 minutes for those in favor of the item and 20 minutes for those in opposition, and each person has 5 minutes to speak. You only have one opportunity to come to the microphone, and before you come, please, before you approach the podium, fill out a speaker card. They're out on the table. They're green cards, but we need your name and address for the record. When you come to the podium, state your name and address again for the record, and then you have 5 minutes to talk to us. This meeting is not a question and answer format. It's the meeting just for us to hear the information, deliberate, and make our decisions. Any printed materials, please give that to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, to my right. She will make copies and disseminate that information to myself and council members. The meeting will go a little differently than the work session, so to go a little quicker. If you have any questions or comments during that time that is open for citizen engagement, you can do that at that time. So we do have a presentation. It's a presentation of the 2023 dose of Douglasville Fall Citizens Academy, and we will have our Deputy Assistant City Manager, Ms. Chelsea Jackson, do the presentation for us.
Thank you, Mayor Robinson. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Chelsea Jackson, 6695 Church Street. It is my honor to present to you the 8th graduating class for the Dose of Douglasville Citizens Academy. As you all know, this is a 10-week program to familiarize residents of the City of Douglasville of the city government organization, its operations, and their overall structure. The Academy provides residents with information, resources, and tools to become knowledgeable and valuable community leaders and members. This year's class consisted of 19 individuals. Throughout their time, these individuals, I call them my 19 troublemakers. They're really troublemakers. And they bullet me sometimes. Even today, I've been called the nerd. Someone told me to take off my green sweater as well. So they told me I was nosy as well today. So they're troublemakers and they're bullies, but I've enjoyed my 10 weeks with them. So throughout this time, they've created their own budget. They've sat before a mock city council to have their budget approved. They were so inquisitive, they didn't even get through the entire budget presentation. So I told them they had to come back next year in order to be able to graduate officially from the class. The fall 2023 class has been the most competitive thus far. Even a simple game of code compliance bingo ended with me throwing the whole entire city swag onto the table and just told them it's a free-for-all. Also, it concluded with me telling them to take a week off to think about how competitive they was and to work on their sportsmanship skills. The last class, I would say I had the 3 stooges, but as I said, this class, I feel like I had 19 stooges, 19 troublemakers. Some would argue that they were not troublemakers at all, but one thing about this class was they was all in this together. This class was the most on time, often arriving an hour early, so I got 3 hours of their entertaining and competitiveness. I will miss Pastor Cameron preaching every time he presented, and I'll miss Dr. Few every time asking whether she lived in a city or county, so I constantly had to remind her that she was a county resident. She just worked in the city. Overall, my Tuesdays seemed very short because this class was very entertaining. The one thing I'm most proud of from this class is they would always advocate for many things. Whether it's for the deaf community or for green communities, they always ask questions as to how they could advocate and increase their awareness around those items. It has truly been a pleasure to be with these group of proactive citizens every Tuesday. They were truly dedicated to learning about city operations. Next, I would like to introduce you to one of the graduates who will share their experience. Mrs. Cochelle Denegal, she's a Ward 2 resident and has been excited with participating in this academy. So I'll introduce you to Ms. Denegal.
Cochelle Denegal, 8821 Olympiad Rose, Douglasville, Georgia. Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
council members, and distinguished guests. I'm proud to be here to celebrate the successful completion of our community courses. Over the last 2 months, we've had the privilege of attending many incredible sessions hosted by a team of knowledgeable and skilled facilitators and talented staff working for our great county. Through this experience, we learned a great deal about the city and its people. We learned that Douglasville is a vibrant and diverse community with a rich history and culture. We also learned about the city's commitment to providing quality services to its citizens, such as public safety, parks and recreation, and economic development. Finally, we learned about the city's commitment to civic engagement with a wide variety of volunteer opportunities and community events. We are proud to call Douglasville our home. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our facilitators for their dedication and commitment to helping us achieve our learning goals. Your guidance has been invaluable in helping us learn and grow. I would also like to give a special thanks to Chelsea, who coordinated this program and has also been there to answer our questions and concerns. Without her hard work and dedication, none of this would have been possible. Congratulations to my peers for successfully completing these civic courses. Let us continue to use the knowledge we've gained to make a difference in our community and help make work easy for these hardworking professionals. Thank you.
Thank you, Cochelle. With that being said, Mayor and Council, I would like to introduce you to the Fall 2023 Dose of Douglasville Citizens Academy class. The following individuals have completed all requirements and classes, and as I call your name, please come down to the front and receive your certificate from City Manager Marsha Hampton to my left. Tracy Antoinette Crooks. Kiera Joyce Tate. Deneen Pope. Jasmine D. Moore. Ariel Dunnan. Teresa Hinton. Charlene Tillman. Justacia Cockrell. Terrell D. Cooper. Dr. Richard Dean Few. Monique D. Simmons. Cochelle T. Denigal. Claudia Elbert. Sandra Oreggio. Eileen Oreggio. Cameron Anderson. Willa Strong. And Sylvie Johnson. And Gretchen R. Bailey. Mayor and City Council, I would like to present to you the 19 participants for the Dose of Douglasville class. As I mentioned, they completed the requirements and all the activities that was set upon them. I also said that there were 19 troublemakers and bullies, and one of them just looked at me and said that they had another presentation, so I will step aside and let them do so.
Oh, they have another presentation. She said we're not.
Madam Mayor, it gives us great pleasure to have the opportunity to thank our facilitator, Ms. Chelsea Jackson, for all of her, should I say, leadership and for her guidance. This has been a wonderful experience, and we're very pleased the fact that our entire class was able to complete. So we would like to bring up Ms. Jackson to say thank you so much, and please accept this small token of our appreciation.
Okay, I won't call them troublemakers. Mayor and Council, I just want to let you all know that there will be a reception following the Mayor and Council meeting in the ballroom for all of the graduates as well as for you all as well. So thank you so much. That concludes our presentation. And if the graduates would come around to take a picture in the front with Mayor and Council as well.
Thank you. And as you are coming, we want to say thank you, and I'll open up for any of my colleagues to comment as well. But thank you so much for sacrificing your time for 10 weeks, giving of yourselves and taking away time from your families and your personal lives. Thank you so much for investing as citizens in this community. You helped to make Douglasville what it is, and we really appreciate your time and your efforts to come and learn about the community. So thank you so much. Any other council members? Councilman Estes.
Dose of Douglasville is one of my favorite programs that the city does, and I'm so thrilled to see it growing each year with more and more citizens participating. Thank you each very, very much for doing this. You make our jobs easier by getting more informed and involved, so please keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. Any other comments from council members? Councilmember Nicole.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just would like to piggyback off of Councilman Estes. It is so wonderful seeing this program grow over the years and watching the residents get involved. And I personally really love it when I hear someone say that they live in Ward 2, because that's my ward as well. But please, like, I've seen so much chatter about it on Women of Douglasville as well. And please share it with your friends. Tell them to come and join in the fun next time, please. Thank you all so much.
Councilman, yes, sir. Councilman Adams.
I just wondered if this would also be considered the best class? No one mentioned that.
The best class ever.
No one mentioned that. Am I with the wrong group, Ms. Chelsea?
Best.
Okay. Just saying. Congratulations to each of you.
Thank you, Councilman Adams. Mayor Pro Tem, you have anything?
Sure. Thank all of you for participating. You guys are not just the roots of our government here, but you're the roots of our civilization. Your willingness to participate and step out, and that really means a tremendous amount to us. And it's good. It's really great to hear that you're all good troublemakers, because we need more good troublemakers. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Watts, you have anything you want to say, Coach?
Just the key for, I think, any city to be a great place to live, work, play, is the citizens and folks that are willing to get involved and do more for the city and for themselves. And I just appreciate y'all being a part of this. And thank you, Ms. Jackson, for keeping up.
Herding the
Thank you.
cats. Okay, you all want to come around, we'll take a picture. We applaud you. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, so if we can. All right, if I can get some more people to come over fill in on this side. Let's see. All right, Cameron, can we get some more, can the front row come up a little bit so that we can, and then Cameron, could you maybe would you mind bending down in front? Councilman Estes, could you come stand right here? Councilman Miller, can you come this way? Perfect. Perfect. And then can we get you in the pink to come this way a little bit? Shift a little bit. Perfect. And can we get these three to shift this way a little bit? Okay, I think that's everybody. All right. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. And one more, 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you. Yeah. I think this is right.
Very good, very good. Wait for some of our citizens to clear out. Go on down. Pardon me? Overdrive, yes, sir. Oh, he's a coffee. All right, so we are finished with our presentation of our fall 2023 dose of Douglasville Fall Citizens Academy. We'll move on to item number 5 on the agenda, which is the approval of the agenda. So I'll open the floor for a motion for adoption of the regular meeting agenda for November 20th, 2023.
So moved.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Adams. It's been properly moved and second to adopt item 23-455. Do we see any additions, deletions, corrections to the approval of the agenda? Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-455 is unanimously approved. We'll move on then to the approval of the minutes. I open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes of the November 2nd, 2023 legislative work session and minutes of November 6th, 2023 regular meeting. Open the floor for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 23-456. Do we have any additions, concerns, comments, or any concerns about the minutes for the meeting? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving item 23-456, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-456 is unanimously approved. Now we will move on to the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you. I had dueling. Ms. City Clerk, Mr. Adams and Councilman Estes, is that your second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we see any corrections, deletions, or any concerns as it relates to the consent agenda? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-440 is unanimously approved. We'll move on to the next committee, which is Economic Development Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on then to Finance Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We
You're
have
welcome.
4 items tonight.
Yes, sir.
We'll begin with item A, and that's to authorize the mayor to sign a change order, PCO number 2, with FS Scarborough LLC for the Hunter Park Walking Trail Improvements Project for repairs of the park stormwater system and in the amount of $106,694.68. Ms. Alicia Mann is here to help us with that. Ms. Mann?
Alicia Mann, Project Manager, 6701 Church Street. As a recap from Thursday's meeting, we've encountered a failed stormwater system over at Hunter Park when we were working on the new walking trail. And what we gathered from that is we encountered sinkholes, and we staff saw the damage that the failed stormwater system had caused, caused sinkholes right under the trail as well as across the street. So we went back to the engineer of the project who gave us a new design on the stormwater system, and what we have today is change order 2, which is the upgrade for the entire stormwater system.
Thank you, Ms. Mann. This is going to be paid for out of SPLOST, is that correct?
That is
We do
correct.
have sufficient funds
That is correct.
in the SPLOST account still for the Parks and Rec, okay? Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, since you were not here on Thursday, I'm going to ask specifically if you had any questions or comments concerning this item.
No, I've been looking over the breakdown on the cost, and it seems to be in order, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any others? Madam Mayor, did you have any
No,
additional
sir.
questions? Anyone else? If not, then I'll make a motion that we approve this item, item 23-449.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved and second by the chair and Mr. Adams, and second by Councilmember Watts to approve item 23-449. Do we have any concerns, questions, or comments as it relates to this item? Any additional? Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 23-449, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-449 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Item B. Authorize the mayor to sign change order 18 under the agreement for construction of the town green with Rayland and Associates Incorporated for additional sanitary sewer line testing. Ms. Mann is also going to assist us with that.
Alicia Mann, Project Manager, 6701 Church Street. What you have before you for change order 18, just a little bit of a recap and background from last week. WSA provisionally accepted Rayland's new installed sanitary sewer system. This preliminary acceptance was granted before the completion of the curb gutter and final pavement. This allowed Rayland to divert waste and sewage down a new sewer line so they could start dismantling the old system. Since the new sewer line had to be in service to keep everything flowing, there was a testing that WSA had to do, which was the provisional acceptance. After Rayland finished all their construction, which included the curb, gutter, and pavement, it required a new test to ensure that under the fully installed conditions, all work done over the pipes was substantially, the integrity and functionality of the sewer system could sustain the work that needed to go through the sewer system. And this is just the item to essentially reimburse Rayland for the additional sewer testing required by WSA.
Thank you, Ms. Mann. Again, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, did you have specific questions about this item?
No, thank you. Mr. Chair, they do seem to have the proper backup, and the prices do seem to be in the proper range.
We had extensive conversation about this on Thursday night. That's the reason I wanted to ask you specifically. Other questions or comments? Coach?
This will come out of the contingency, right?
Yes, this is payable out of the contingency on that project. Is that correct, Madam City Manager? Okay, that's what I thought, yes. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Mann. Seeing none, then I make a motion that we approve item 23-447.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Miller. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 23-447. Do we have any additional conversation as relates to this item? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-447 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We'll
You're
move on
welcome.
then to item C. Authorize the mayor to sign a fee proposal with Comprehensive Program Services Incorporated for a catering kitchen addition at the Douglasville Town Green in the amount of $120,000. Ms. Chelsea Jackson is here to help us with that item.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Councilman Adams. Chelsea Jackson, 6695 Church Street. As mentioned on Thursday, this would be for CPS to manage the catering kitchen project. The catering kitchen project and future expansion area would add a catering kitchen on the second level of the Douglasville Town Green, as well as add an ADA accessible restroom and storage space on the third level as well. Also, as mentioned, this will allow the city of Douglasville to have 5 caterers, a catering list, that'll be able to use that warmer kitchen on the second level, which that's an event space that holds about 300 people as well. The sole caterer for concessions currently is Proof of the Pudding, and they have the license to operate that kitchen on the first level. And so this would allow, like I said, the 5 catering lists for the second and the third level and a future ADA expansion and storage space.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. I know that's something that many of us had been promoting and hoping for as far as the catering list, approved list. Can you give us, just as a sidebar, can you give us any idea of where we are in that process as far as
Yes,
choosing
sir.
those caterers?
Yes, sir. So August of this year, we actually went through an RFP process to solicit for 5 caterers. We only received 2 caterers back. We believe one of those reasons was because we did not have a warming kitchen in that area to allow them to actually, prep the food and whatnot in that area. So we plan on in January to solicit for bids again so we can have a complete list of 5 caterers.
With the new catering kitchen in place?
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you very much. Questions, comments concerning this item? Mr. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This one I do have some questions for. This is, basically, we're hiring CPS to continue doing what they've been doing for the town green.
That's correct.
For this additional facility that we're adding on to the tower. What they're asking for, they're expecting the design to take 4 months and the construction to take 6 months. Where did we get the estimate for both of those numbers? Do we know where that came from?
So the estimate came from CPS. He's Steve Morrow. He's currently the project manager. So he worked with Ray Lynn as well as with TSW on an estimate of how long it would take for the scope of work.
And are we, let me see, I can see the wording on this. Are we putting this as a fixed fee, the 120, or are we paying them at the rate? Because those seem, I mean, I think those are conservative estimates for both timelines. I mean, it's not a very big project. The 4 months to design that seems a little excessive, I would say that. If it's design, if they finish it in 2 months or 3 months, are we going to be owing them $60,000 for that portion, or are we only going to pay them on the per month?
We would only pay them a monthly rate, and that's how it has been throughout the duration of the town green. They bill us monthly as they do the work.
Okay, so this is a rate, not a fixed, I just want to make sure of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And they are charging more for the design portion, which is interesting, but I can, all right, well, I can live with that, I guess. I'm good, thank you.
We did discuss that, Mr. Miller, on Thursday night as to how they came up with an idea of how long it would take to retrofit and to then improve with that addition. And he really anticipated it would be more like 3 months total.
Okay.
So
Good.
we would be paying on a monthly basis and we're not tied to that total fee.
Excellent,
Okay.
excellent.
Others? Anyone? Okay. If there are no other questions, we'll move forward to that item 23-450. Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second, moved by the Chair, Councilmember Adams, and second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 23-450. Do we have any additional conversation as it relates to this item? I know, Mayor Pro Tem, that was a fair question, and Councilman, the Chairman answered, and Mr. Morrow did say that was a generous time frame. They probably would finish beforehand, but they just wanted to make certain that there was ample time if something were to occur, weather-wise or any other concerns. Okay, not having any other conversation, all those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-450 is unanimously approved.
Thank you once again, Madam Mayor. Then
You're
we'll move
welcome.
on to item D.
Yes, sir.
Authorize the mayor to sign amendment number 12 with Tunnel Spangler and Associates Incorporated for design services for the addition of 2 stories to the west side of the existing event tower at the Douglasville Town Green in the amount of $162,600. Once again, Ms. Chelsea Jackson.
Thank you, Councilman Adams. Chelsea Jackson, 6695 Church Street. Previously mentioned, of course, this would be for TSW to do the landscape architect work, as well as schematic design, design development, grease trap relocation, and to develop the construction documents for that expansion of the warming kitchen, as well as the ADA compliant restroom and the storage space. Of course, last week, Councilman Adams did ask for us to go back to TSW to ask for them to look at their numbers again. They did, and happy to say that they provided an updated estimate. It was about $40,000 lower. If you all remember on Thursday, it was about $202,000. Today's amount is $162,600.
I think we had a pretty good weekend, don't you, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, we did.
Saved 20% just by asking.
That's right.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I think you specifically had questions about this item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, that was, when I first saw the number at $200,000, my quick math told me that that's a 20% fee. My understanding is the estimate was about $1 million for the construction. So $200,000 would be a 20% fee, which I've never heard of in my professions. So that will be definitely pushing that, except when you're getting into very, very high-end interior design where you're specifying every, possible finish in a high-end residence or something, you might push it to 15 to 18%. 20% is really, we're now at 16%, so it's still high, but at least it's within the realm, I guess, of, it's on the high end of something, it's not outside the range. I would be curious to know, though, if is anyone here from representing them today?
No, sir, they were not able to be with us today.
It would have been good to know what was driving the high, I also understand that the smaller the project, the higher the percentage fee is going to be typically. That's just simply the way it works. So if you know, $1 million project is going to have a higher percentage than a $20 million project. But even again, $1 million is a smallish project for a city, but not that small of a project. I don't know what's that. I mean, I would have been curious. Do they need a decision right away on this?
What we had actually discussed and asked for would be only that Madam City Manager go forward with the site survey, which of course she's authorized to sign the check for that amount of money easily, and then we could have any amount of discussion that we needed to. But I understand in our discussion on Thursday, we needed to get that started.
Okay.
And in reply to your concern, I totally agree with you, but I will say that you have the contractor now coming back to do a task that, had we known, we could have had done as we went. So now they have to come back and regroup and start over. So I would have assumed, sort of like a remodeling project, you're going to have some tear out and demo. And so,
And the construction cost doesn't concern me as much. I
understand.
say that's not an issue. And I understand the necessity of getting the site survey going. That's certainly perfectly
Yes.
fine. I think one of the things that I was told was because there's some additional items in there outside the typical range, which includes the site survey, the grease trap relocation, which actually on their contract are some of the smallest numbers on it. So I have no problem with those numbers. They're actually the tiniest.
I think one of the complications is that the grease trap is actually located where it was supposed to be, but now it could potentially be in the way of the stacking of that next addition. And of course, we want it to look like it was planned and someone won't really notice it's an addition. The other thing is that we plan to open, and I want to make sure that we let the public know, plan to open the park on December 1st. Is that correct, Ms. Jackson?
That is correct. We plan on
And
opening it on December 1st, and we won't close it.
We
So
will
this
not
would-
close it again. So they'll have to work around the construction and also allow it to be open safely for our citizens.
Well, again, the architect's work should all, for the most part, be done before then.
Yes.
But the question, are we using Ray Lynn for this?
Yes.
So why is there bidding why is there a bidding fee?
So the bidding would be for the actual materials as well as the kitchen equipment. We did the same. We bid it out for the kitchen equipment that's on the first level in the concession kitchen. And then one of the things that decreased with the cost mostly is, once Steve spoke with them, the average amount of time would be 6 months. And then they went back and talked, and they said 4 months would be, admin went from 6 months to 4 months, which decreased that cost.
Okay. And also, I do understand that if they're going to be, you've got subcontractors bidding and there's going to be RFIs that come, that may be an area that we also look at as a little bit excessive is under bidding and permitting, because you've already got the GC is in place, and the permitting is, I assume, has already been done for this project.
No,
Or we
but
do
you're
it separate?
changing the project. You're changing.
Are we going through the permitting process?
It
for
would be
the-
different
okay.
permits for this,
Okay,
yes.
they're not including this under the original permit?
No, no.
Okay. I don't know why we can't do that, but that's up to the city. That's an administrative decision. Okay. Yeah, I have no problem moving ahead with the first part of the, and if anybody else wants to.
Well, we've hashed over it on Thursday. I mean, we seem to be pretty much in agreement with the number that we had here on Thursday night. We did not want to move forward, and I knew you wanted the opportunity to discuss. So in reply to Mayor Pro Tem's point, anyone have any other comment or question concerning the item before we move forward? Yes, Madam Mayor, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. The comment is that I appreciate you making the recommendation for them to sharpen their pencil and for them going back and for staff assisting so that we can have a reduction in 20% of the project as well. And from my understanding, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, that the subcontractors, materials, all of that, if we were not to move in an expedited fashion, but just in a pace that would keep up with having it completed before we open back up and not rebidding, we could be open up to a new, a whole new team to come in outside of Ray Lynn.
I have no problem with any of that.
It's
That makes
just
total sense. My concern, again, is on the design and CA side, on the architect side, which is, that they're charging a certain amount for bidding and permitting, which they've already gone through. And oftentimes you sometimes pad that number a little bit when you're working in a new jurisdiction and you don't know the process. And since they've already had this permitted once, it's already pretty well. I don't think the city's going to have many issues in terms of getting this re-permitted. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around what the $17,000 is going to be going toward, other than maybe a handful of RFIs. That was the number that also jumped out at me. Again, I don't have any question or issues with the construction side. I understand
Yes,
what
sir.
needs to happen there.
But the administrative,
The
architectural.
The architectural side is my problem there, but if the council's already discussed it and is willing to move forward, then, I can sit down and shut up.
No, it's pretty-
Anyone else? No other comment or question? I think that the staff has done a great job in this area. I'm thankful that we're able to retain the same contractor to come in and then do a retrofit. And of course, after those 3 concerts that were done in the fall, this is the information that they've gathered in order to, I think, maximize the experience that our public has and those people that may come in and rent the space and want to have another caterer. I'm glad for that part of it, that we're going to be able to actually go that route with this, with these improvements in our city. If there are no other questions then, I'll make a motion on item 23-451 for approval.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 23-451. We've had some lengthy discussion. Do we have any other concerns, comments, or conversation as it relates to this item? I don't see any hands. All those in favor of approving item 23-451, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-451 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all that we have tonight under finance.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and we appreciate the comments, staff, from Ms. Mann and Ms. Jackson during the presentation as City Manager. We'll move on then to Housing and Community Affairs Committee. Councilmember Adams, I believe you're the Vice Chair for this one as well. Are you?
No business, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, do you mind taking this
No problem,
committee?
Madam Mayor. There's no business tonight under the Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee.
Thank you, sir. Personnel and Organization Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight under Personnel and Organization.
Thank you, sir. Planning and Development Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
We have no business tonight, Madam Mayor, under Planning and Development. Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Public Improvement and Beautification Committee, chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Madam Mayor, we have no business tonight in public improvement and beautification.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations Committee, chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The PR committee has no business this evening.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety Committee, Vice Chair Councilmember Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in Public Safety.
Thank you, sir. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, you're the chair as that, for that committee as well, Councilmember Watts.
Yes, ma'am. No business tonight under Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you, sir. Technology Committee, chaired by Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There's no business at this time under the Technology Committee.
Thank you, sir. And would you please take the Transportation Committee for me as well?
Yes, Madam Mayor. There's no business at this time under the Transportation Committee as well.
Thank you, sir. We have other business. It is to adopt a resolution in support of the International City County Management Association's annual conference, which is, it seems like a long way away, but our city manager tells us it's very competitive, and if we will send a letter of support, it would help and go a long way for the convention for 2028, 20 and 29 in Atlanta, Georgia. Our city manager, Ms. Marcia Hampton.
Yes, ma'am. The Georgia City County Managers Association is looking to solicit support from local cities within the metro area for the Metro Atlanta area to host the International City County Managers Association Conference. This conference usually brings over 5,000 city and county managers across not just the United States, but it's also an international conference as well. So I'm asking you all to provide that letter of support on behalf of the city of Douglasville to that organization.
Thank you so much, City Manager. It's kind of like the Olympics coming to Georgia. Do we have any comments or concerns from council members? If not, then I will open the floor for a motion to approve item 23-454.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Adams. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second to send this letter of support and approve item 23-454. Do we have any additional concerns, comments, or questions as it relates to this item? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-454 is unanimously approved. Now we'll go for updates from our city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Our police department.
No business, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Our city manager, department, Ms. Hampton.
Yes, ma'am. Just to remind you all, I sent you all an email on, regarding our 2023 state delegation meeting that's coming up on December 8th. If you all have any topics that you all would like for me to include for staff to start researching, if you can get that information over to me as soon as possible. I do plan to, on November 30th, to have an item on the agenda just to share with you all what items we're bringing forward. Of course, there'll be items dealing with housing, transportation, and then our local option sales tax negotiation and service delivery. So those are the main three topics I currently have right now. If there are others, please let me know. And just that you all have 4 council meetings before the end of the year. And there are a few employee events that Kristen will include in your information she sends to you on Friday, but we are winding down the end of the year, and just kind of a heads up, you all have completed all of your goals for 2023. We are completely done.
We just take the rest of the year off.
You all can, you can, yes, but we are completed with your goals for 2023. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, City Manager. You also solicited for council members to bring forth items for our, not retreat, our work session in February that we have every year. Okay.
Can get those to me as well before we close the year. Typically, staff is busy pulling together that information presentation. So if you saw what I sent you, we have a robust list of topics that we are discussing, some major things particularly related to capital projects that we are currently actually underway, that we're capping off, and then high priority decisions that you'll have to make moving forward. Just always reminder of that $4.5 million invoice that we will face in January 2024.
Ooh-wee. Yes, ma'am. And for the council members that are being reinstalled or sworn, have to be sworn in, our city clerk has given us documentation for us to confirm who will do the swearing-in ceremony for us, if it's a judge or whomever. So we need to turn that in by the end of the year, Ms. Acker?
By December 14th.
Oh, by December 14th. So we have about a month to secure the judge or whomever judicial person you'd like to do the swearing-in.
Yes, ma'am. And Ms., the clerk's office has sent you a detailed list of save-the-date items. If you all would just be mindful of those. That includes the strategic planning session date, all your trainings that you have coming up at the beginning of the year, and just keep in mind that January, we have those staggered dates. We have those staggered dates because of the New Year holiday, so please keep that in mind. January will be fairly busy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, City Manager. Someone's over there short timer. I don't know what they're doing on the side, making bunny faces or ears or something. Oh, oh no, not a lame duck. All right, any other comments, City Manager? Thank you. Comments from citizens and delegates. Do you all have any comments or concerns? We have a couple of citizens. If you'd like to come forward and speak to us, you have 5 minutes to talk to us about any business germane to the city. No? All right. Well, not having any other business. Oh, yes, sir. I apologize.
No,
Elected
that's fine.
officials.
One quick comment, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
You and I saw some rather interesting presentations at the National League of Cities
We
this past
did.
weekend, including some that I hope we don't bring to the city of Douglasville, which most notably about AI and its ubiquitousness, which has seemed to be becoming very common. A lot of cities are adopting artificial intelligence as part of their interaction with citizens, and I just want to express my concern over that because I think there's a lot of good that can be done with it, but I think there's a lot of bad that can be done with it, and a lot of misunderstandings that could happen out of that. But I think what a lot of people would be missing is that human touch, that the
Yes.
ability to interact with the people you represent. We don't farm that out, and I
Right.
think farming it out into a computer is troublesome.
Yes, sir. But the one technology that might be consider positive, not AI, is I went on the tour for autonomous cars that were driving through the community for downtown Atlanta, and they were talking about sanitation trucks having, you just plug them in and no people come and they'll pick up your trash, and public safety.
I'm
They
all
were
in favor of
saying that,
autonomous
so I
cars.
don't know about the,
I know how people drive. I'm all good with autonomous cars.
so I don't agree with the one for the police department. Maybe sanitation, but again, will it tell you if a little kid is by the trash can, or will it just pick up the little kid in the bike and not know the difference like a person would know if it's a computer for your sanitation truck? Save cities money. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, that's another area that we might not want to lead the way on.
I know. They had tours the whole day going right in those
Officer,
cars.
were you prepared for your augmentations, by the way?
No more RoboCops. Okay. Any other comments, concerns? Something from citizens? Any other elected officials have comments? Thank you. Not seeing any, then happy Thanksgiving. And I guess that is all. If we don't have any other business, this meeting is adjourned. They turn on you, keep you in your house, won't let you out.